Let's start with this very first function we have here, identify.
So identify is exactly what it sounds like. You need to identify everything on your network. And it's really no small task. It's all of anything that plugs into the network, your laptops, your Chromebooks, your iPads, your access points, your printers, all of your HVAC or industrial controls that you may have. It's really everything that has the ability to get an IP address. You need to figure out where that is and identify not only what it is, but what it does. What's its intent? You also need to find all the data. What is your school district keeping or protecting that they value the most? Is it your student information, which the answer is yes? Is it the financial information of the district? The answer is yes. Well, where is it? Who has access to it? How is that data moved around and manipulated? And where is it living? Or where could it potentially be living?
Wow, so this is no small task. So you had to basically go through and look at everything, the devices, operating systems, software applications, all the data, who had connections. So, that included, I'm assuming, since you're a Google school, you even had to look into your Google domain, know who all was connected to it, and even what was connected, like third-party apps, other software extensions. So did NIST extend to that as well?
Oh, absolutely. It covered all of that. And the Chromebooks and the Google environment, add some complexities. It's not their traditional IT. When you think of, server and client based, and you control your file server and you know who's got access to it. When that got pushed up into Google, now everybody's got the ability to share documents outside the organization. There's no real easy way to restrict what content of information is in that document that was shared outside your district. So we needed a way to identify what is being publicly shared and how, and what third-party accesses into our systems, either through the apps, extensions, all of that other stuff that the Chromebooks facilitate.
And that's where we began our relationship with your school district, was on that topic, correct? That's where we came into play?
That's where ManagedMethods came into it. So I've got everything roughly identified, kind of. I know I've got Chromebooks. I know I've got apps and extensions and third-party software all over the place. But having that deeper visibility. Who has it? Where is it being accessed from? Just being able to wrap my hands around that Google monster was really, really a huge benefit of ManagedMethods.
Well, we're glad we could certainly help within that component, and I think we'll talk about a few other components here as we go forward and where we tie into that. That again, wow, that just this first one, identify, seems like that's a lot and a big undertaking. So how did you go about this there at the school district? Did you have additional resources, like state funding or grants for that? Did you bring in any outside consultants, or was this really just you and your team?
So this was really me and my team. And when I say team, it's a team of two of us. So me and another person. And the way we approached it was, we knew we could get some good data off of the reporting that was built into our switches and the routers. But really, we took everything down. We looked at, all right, we're going to have to take one building at a time and then break that building down further. And okay, we'll start with the hallways. And eventually it led to a room-by-room inventory. Physically going into that room, what do I see? What's connected to our network? What device did a teacher bring in that didn't tell us, that plugged it into the network jack in the back of their room? So it was quite overwhelming. And again, there was no additional funding. It was what in the state of New Hampshire we term an unfunded mandate.
So when you were in this phase, in the identify phase itself, did you have a place or process for documenting, mapping out all of your devices, information, et cetera? How were you mapping and documenting all this process?
So we did it the old fashioned way. We used Google Docs and Google Sheets, which it works, but then that's one more piece of critical data that we need to ensure is protected, right? The last thing we want is our inventory of all our devices and what software they're running and what version to get leaked out to the internet.
So identify was a very big undertaking. How long did that run?
That identify first go round was probably close to 2 months to get that where we felt comfortable with it. But one of the pieces of the framework is that it's a continuous cycle. So as soon as we get down to the other side where you're continuing to identify changes, what's been added, what's been removed, and keeping that list of essentially all of your assets up to date and current.